MLS season is officially back, ladies and gentlemen. 2025 MLS regular season is upon us. And as we do every year on this channel, we predict in a hot take fashion how we feel each of these 30 MLS franchises are going to finish in the regular season. We're going to do it in tier list fashion. Going to be a lot of fun. Again, guys, I'm always joined by a great cast and crew. Today is no exception to that. You might recognize a couple faces, a couple guys here, maybe a little bit more new to the channel. All right. So either way, welcome them in. We got Hector from Insert Name FC, got Andrew from the Designated Players, we got Davi from the Blue Burrows Pod, and we got John from Loud and Proud Orlando here today to, again, predict how we think every one of these 30 MLS franchises are going to perform in the 2025 season. Hold us accountable, keep the receipts all season long. All right, we're going to see how we stack up. Hector bounced back in a massive way in 2024. Didn't look good to start off, bro. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit throughout the show. I'm curious to see how you feel about Orlando this season. But yeah, guys, before we jump in, man, John, first and foremost, man, welcome to the channel. How are you feeling about not just Orlando, but these predictions going in tonight?
Thank you for having me on the channel, first of all. Glad to be here. Right now, we're beating Miami 2-1 in a preseason game. So, you know, that's pretty good. And we're feeling pretty happy about that. So, Orlando, yeah, we're just hoping to be relevant, man.
Hey, man, we'll see what happens. Some movement there, right? Recently, we'll talk about that along the way. We'll predict all of these teams. Andrew, you've been on the show a couple times, man. How are you feeling about today's show?
Today's good, man. I've always said that on our show we have two types of predictions. We have the correct prediction, and then we have Connor's prediction. So, you know, I'm excited to continue that onto this recording here today.
Awesome, man. Well, let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's jump right in. All right, everybody knows how these tier lists work. We've done so many of them on Wake Up MLS. Gonna have a good time all the way around. All right, and again, guys, if you're looking for in-depth previews of every one of these teams, this may not be the best video for that, right? We're going to predict in tier list fashion how we just really kind of feel off the cuff a little bit, how each one of these teams will finish in the regular season, some hot takes along the way. But if you want any one of those in-depth previews, Andrew from the Designated Players, a fantastic channel for that. Anything Orlando specific, John's got you covered with Loud and Proud. And again, right, you know what each one of the rest of us offer with our own channels. So let's jump in. Let's not waste any more time. We're doing this in alphabetical order today. No favoritism. We're not saving anybody for the very end of this. Let's start with Atlanta, guys. All right, big offseason for Atlanta United. Latte Lath, right? Almiron back in the league. I think the vibes are at an all-time high in Atlanta after a very interesting end to the 2024 season for them, knocking off Miami after losing all three DPs. Guys, how are we feeling, man? Did they make a big comeback with the transfer market activity they were able to put together? Who's got a hot take here?
I got you. I'll start us off here. And there's always one team in the league and that will be mid to not so good, have a big splash in the window and straight up into the top tiers of whatever conference they're in. And I could see Atlanta being that team this year because they've added in the correct areas, right? Ooh. MLS an attacking league. It's a league that relies on big name attackers. Latte Lath and Almiron are two very good additions around Miranchuk already. I can see this being really good. And their back line, the only question I've got is if Brad Guzan can do it again, right? You know, Mother Nature and Father Time both stay undefeated, and he's not winning that battle. So, but I like Pedro Amador out there. I think their starting 11 is good. I think there's some good youth coming up through the ranks. I can see this being a team that I would be really shocked if they were on the bubble. I think playoff lock is the lowest I would go here. That's the lowest I would go here.
I think that's probably the pressure on this team, right? If you think about it, you signed Latte Lath, which somebody, you know, again, some will argue that they overspent, right? I don't really have an opinion there until I actually watch him play. I didn't watch him a lot in the championship, right? Playing for Boro. So I'm really kind of curious how he does in MLS, but I think, you know, playoff lock, I don't mind, right? Because for whatever reason, I mean, even without their DPs, they were able to kind of find their way to get into playoffs, upset Messi and Miami along the way. If Brad Guzan has another masterclass in 2025, shit, I mean, I could totally see where Andrew's coming from here. Anybody disagree? No? Playoff lock all the way around?
Yeah, I think Latte Lath is going to be really good, man, because championship is very similar to MLS in that way. So I feel like he's going to transition well, and Miggy already knows the league, so I think they're going to improve.
Hell yeah. All right, let's keep him there, man. I'm totally down with that. We'll see how this goes. AJ is right now smiling, I'm sure. Got his team up in playoff lock. He might not have him that high, but again, I don't mind that pick at all. All right, man. Austin FC. I wish we had Ed on for this episode. It would have been a dope one. I'm kind of curious how everybody feels about that. Hector and I, I'm sure, have our own thoughts being fans of Texas-based teams. But I'm kind of curious. Anybody got any strong opinions already on Austin? If not, I'm gonna throw them up where I think they should go.
Bubble baby, because I don't know. I mean, they signed a proven MLS 9. That's always great. Like, that's a great move, and somebody recognizable like Vasquez that scores goals in this league, and didn't pan out for him in Mexico, but that just for him to come back, they're gonna score a lot of goals this season. But as for the rest of the team, I don't really know.
No Driussi though. We're not worried about that.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, I think Brandon Vasquez with like the know-how to how to play in this league and how to get himself in position to score goals. That could ease the blow if he starts on fire at the start of the season. It's going to ease the blow of no Driussi, and they also have Ilie Sanchez, who knows how to. He's been there and done that. He's won MLS Cups with LAFC, and he's been successful in the playoffs. So that can't hurt a team. In fact, that only adds to a team. Just to have the experience in a locker room in a tough league like MLS, that's never a negative.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why. I'm an FC Dallas fan, so I'm still so skeptical with Nico Estevez at the helm. Like, I look at this team and I'm like, they're not a bad team on paper. But I think that no matter what, like, Nico has only ever seen one positive, in my opinion, my humble opinion, one very positive season in MLS so far, the 3 years that he's been in the league. That was the very first season with FC Dallas. Since then, it was just a slow decline up until he got fired. And then somehow Austin hired him on the back of that.
Oh, I forgot they also added some guy from Granada, Unuzi.
Yeah.
12 million.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can hit him with an "and." That dude dropped 48 goals in 3 seasons. I don't know. If you can, I don't know.
But he's not in La Liga. He's in the B division. Sure. I mean, again, right? Fine. I'm not slighting it that much, but for someone who appreciates La Liga quite a bit, again, I'm kind of like, eh. I mean, I've watched, third division sides whoop up on Granada in the past. So again, I'll kind of reserve judgment until I wait and see what he does in MLS. Similar to Latte Love. I just want to see what he does first. But I don't mind this shout. Bubble FC is not bad. Hector, you have any thoughts?
I'm really interested on how Nico does with this team. I will say I think this is a different situation going into the season with Austin, because I mean, obviously we remember the rant from last year from Hernan where they couldn't even have an 11v11 for practice. So I think this is definitely a different Austin FC. I think Brandon Vasquez brings in a lot of excitement to the team. And I mean, we kind of have some sort of idea of Nico Estevez's tactics and some approach. And I think obviously that 10 role is going to be very important. Who's going to connect that ball to Vasquez? So I think that's where I'm kind of curious still with. But I think in the bubble, I think they'll have an improvement this year. So I think bubble's fine.
Yeah, they might make wild card. And Pereira might be the guy that steps up in his absence if Ilie Sanchez is behind him, kind of helping free him up a little bit. So there could be some of that at play too. I don't mind this. I don't think Hernan would really mind this either. I wouldn't put them in playoff lock though. Like, I got to see this team play. I really do.
But
I got a feeling. Yeah. Wait for the summer. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't mind them. We can always move things around. Montreal. Anybody disagree? Rebuilding or just bad?
No, I think rebuilding, but are they rebuilding with the right pieces? I mean, they brought in Giacomo Veroni and Prince Owusu, and I'm not convinced by their changes there. I feel like they're trying to get themselves to improve, but I just don't know if they have. I think that roster is the same, if not worse than last time. So, yeah, I think they're in rebuilding.
Do you think Vrioni's an improvement from Joseph Martinez? I'm kind of curious.
Ooh, and Andrew, what do you think? I don't know on that one.
So what I'll say about Montreal, first off, is they're better in the back, right? They've definitely improved their defense, which is a positive for a team that gave up 60 plus goals last year, I think it was. I like Vrioni getting a second chance in a place that's going to give him a more team-oriented approach. Now, this is something we were talking about on our preview, was he's going to have more people. Like it's going to be more not just Vrioni has to do the job or Vrioni and he'll have to do the job, right? He's going to have a little bit more of a team kind of oriented around him, which I think might benefit him a little bit better. That being said, I think rebuilding is correct, right? They're adding pieces to try and get better. I don't know. I wouldn't say they're just bad, but I think they're taking a step. Like they're trying to build Laurent Courtois' system, right? They're trying to build his team the way he wants to do it. So I think rebuilding is the right place for him.
Yeah. So not just bad. I mean, and Courtois as manager, had an interesting start to last season. I was actually encouraged by Montreal up into a certain point. So Vrioni, I don't know if he deserves a second chance or not. I think it's good that he's getting one to see if New England was, for whatever reason, not the ideal environment for him. But yeah, man, I'm not super inspired. It kind of feels like a lateral move going for someone like an aging Martinez to a Vrioni who just never really got going with the Revs. So I don't know. We'll find out.
You want to speak about starts? They have 7 straight on the road.
Woo!
That's good.
They were a good team on the road last season, even with that start. They went to Miami and knocked those Barca boys down 3-2. I remember that game. So I think it was like, I don't know what, second, third game of the season. Well, it's all about how they start. They did go into Dallas like several other teams also and get a dub. So we'll find out how Montreal does. I got a feeling though, the best anybody could put this team is right fucking here, beyond mid. Like they're going to be a team that will cause trouble for some teams towards the top of the table, but in reality, I mean, I just think they're far off from being like a fringe playoff team. They still have like a few more pieces to add. So we'll see. Maybe the summer window helps them out, but we'll find out. Charlotte, Andrew, I think you had a big take for what we heard backstage before the show started. Give it to me, bro.
This is gonna be an MLS Cup contender this year.
Really? Dean Smith moving.
So Dean Smith has his team set up, a defensive team set up to withstand all different types of attacks from all different types of teams. They haven't lost any of those players outside of maybe, and you can stretch this, maybe left back Jerry Aronin, who was interchangeable anyway. And then they replace him with this guy, Tim Ream. Don't know if he's half decent there.
He's okay. He's okay.
He's all right. And listen, right, left back as an attack. I don't see him as an attacking left back, right? Obviously, he's not getting up the pitch and playing like Pedro Amador, right? But what I can see is that back line being super steady with Kalina. Even if Kalina plays at 75% of what he was last year, they're going to be fantastic. And you look at the players that they have in transition. This is a team that likes to play in transition. It's a team that's going to look to play in transition. And now you've got Wilfred Zaha, Pep Biel. Up top is Pat Ajiman, who is going to have a huge year. And then you can flip-flop whoever you'd like on the other side, whether it be Lyle Abada, whether it be Vargas, whether it be Tavares. I mean, you have so many different options there. But the team that will play in transition and be super, super exciting in that moment, I think very LAFC on the East, right? Withstand, get it up to your 4 guys who are going to have a lot of fun and let them do their job. And that's why I think that this team genuinely has a shot at. I think top 4 is in the East is, I don't want to say a lock, but I think it's very, very likely, and then go on a decent run with that team.
Damn, top 4. I know, and they weren't super far off from that, at points throughout the regular season in 2024. So not a bad shout at all. I'm down with this hot take, and I think it is kind of a hot take if you didn't watch Charlotte a lot last season. The bank is going to be popping, man, 1,000%. Quick question before we move on: how many goals does Zaha get in his first season in MLS?
13.
13. That's a pretty good start.
13 from open play. I don't know about. Like I said, I see him just in transition consistently, and he's got just the pace and the power to get by majority of MLS defenders, who I think we all can agree MLS defense not the best in the world. I think he's going to have a really good year. If he's
going to be cooking. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you got to stay healthy for sure and aging forward. But nonetheless, man, I think he's going to feast in MLS as well. Anybody disagree with this in a hard way? If not, I'm down to leave Charlotte up here.
I kind of disagree a little bit. Yeah, I think playoff lock for sure, but I think, Andrew, a lot of what you're saying there relies on all of these pieces coming together in the attack for them. I think the defense is solid, but what if Zaha, it doesn't really work out? What if he gets injured? They can't figure out how to use him in the right way? I do think they are strong, and I think they're getting stronger, but I think maybe MLS, for me, is a little bit too far. But also, I don't like Charlotte, so maybe that's biased.
I don't like Charlotte either.
I'm sensing a lot of anger and like resentment here for a whole bunch of different things,
Hey,
and I
they
don't
started it.
I don't
You know,
buy
they
it.
started it.
Bro, that easily could have been an Atlanta United fan take 100% too. Like that, like I just feel like anybody in the Southeast, for the most part, be like, Charlotte's okay. They're not the greatest team out there. I rate Dean Smith heavily. I think he's a great manager. So
I mean, you and me, Jose, were pretty high on Charlotte last year.
yeah.
And then we said that they should have gone in to got that like that finisher in the summer, and so they would have been a lot more a lot more sturdier for the playoffs. I think they could have made a really good run had they added that crucial finisher. But I mean, Zaha, this is his opportunity to showcase what he can do. I think he's going to be an exciting player for the MLS. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that this is a good piece. I maybe not the finisher I thought was going to come to Charlotte, but I think maybe that it's fitting for Charlotte to get a guy like Zaha.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm John again, bro. Love your takes, man. Probably gonna leave them up here for now. Only because like I want to see who else we feel like is at this level. And keep in mind, right, we can always move things down. I would put Charlotte ahead of Atlanta for the time being. So let's do that. I'm down to keep them here. We'll see how things shake up, and just kind of go from there, man. Chicago. Anybody disagree?
I'm all aboard the Greg train, so I don't like it.
I am so worried about Chris Brady. I'm so worried.
Listen, I agree with that. I think that's a good take. He's not as strong as people keep saying he is. I like that.
He's not great on his feet.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Greg Berhalter's system, which I'm sure we all are very familiar with that system, you kind of need a goalkeeper that's good with their feet because you're gonna be building a lot from the back. So, and I think it's gonna. If one thing, Chris Brady is gonna have to learn how to be good with his feet. I'm not taking any disrespect to him. I know he's a good shot stopper, but it's gonna be his ability with his feet to be able to handle a lot of high presses that they're going to be facing, because that's obviously the kryptonite to a Greg Berhalter system. So I think, I'm praying for Chris Brady, but I think also in reality, this roster isn't necessarily getting me excited. I am grateful that Neymar did not come here because this was not going to be a good fit for him if he was to come to Chicago.
But what I would have given to see Neymar get coached by Greg Berhalter, that would have been fucking amazing, bro. That would have been just peak MLS. Like, I don't care what anybody says, bro. That would have been, just imagine Greg calling him over and like trying to give him notes. Like, there's no fucking way, bro.
I just need Neymar just like scratching his head as he's like
dude, that's just as hilarious as Chris Armas getting the assistant coach job at Man United. When Ronaldo was there. That was fucking hilarious.
Ronaldo getting notes, like a little little sheet from Armas with some notes. Like, I just fucking crumpled that shit and threw it away. There's no way, bro. There's no way. I easily would have done that. No shot.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, bro. No fucking way. No way.
But they have Lassiter, so at least they can go down with Lassiter.
Fuck it, MLS Cup.
Yeah.
No, listen. I'm going to step in here. I've got them finishing mid-table in the East. I think that they've got a lot of pieces here that are going to make sense. Got them. I'll settle for mid because I agree. I don't think the roster like wows me. I don't think their designated players are like out of this world. But I think it's a team that is perfect for Greg Berhalter system, that is so simple and so easy that everybody can figure it out. Even Tom Barlow, and Tom Barlow might even get a few goals this year. So I'm going to have him beyond mid.
I think Guti's going to be pissed. I'll be honest. I think someone who likes to have a lot of creativity in the midfield, I think the system's going to be too rigid for him to enjoy playing soccer there. I think that will lead to potentially a lack of opportunities in the final third. I don't know. I'm too fucking stained from the USMNT. Like I'm too stained from the US men's national team run with Berhalter. I don't
agree.
know,
I think Guti is at his best when he's at his most creative, and we know what Berhalter do with that US men's national team as far as creativity goes.
Yeah. But Andrew, if you're willing to die on this hill, bro, we'll keep receipts and we'll see how this shit goes.
I'm with Andrew.
I will
Man.
die on it.
I think they're beyond mid, and like you got like they brought in really good wingers, and Greg plays winger ball, so like I think it's gonna
Alright.
work. Like
Yeah,
Bamba, I
fair.
rate that signing. I think that's a really good signing.
Bamba's not a bad signing. I agree.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's gonna try and control too much of what makes these players great in open space, even down the flanks, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna see some poor man's version of pep ball where these wingers are gonna get to a certain point, cut it right back, and try to move it laterally. Like Chicago Fire fans, I felt for you on this show, but now I'm just like, dude, Greg's about to just put you guys through the mental ringer, I think.
Guys,
I
Lassiter
don't
went to Portland. They don't have Lassiter anymore. They cooked.
All right, with that said,
Yeah.
we're moving on. We're moving on. I'm down with Beyond Mid. I think that's fine. If they even get close to this, in all honesty, I think it's a W for the season, considering where they were last year, right? Second worst team in all of MLS. So let's find out. We'll
I
see.
think I would just put them on rebuilding just as a good in between. But
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple votes for this, so I'll keep it here. I'm fine with it. At the end of the day, I don't really have a strong opinion on Chicago. I'm not scared of this team at the end of the day. So we'll find out. Greg, prove me wrong, bro. Prove me wrong. Colorado, year 2 of Armis. Playoff lock?
Mid.
Really?
I watched Chris Armis' second year like 3 times. The dude doesn't have a good year two ever. I'll give you
That's
bubble.
actually not a bad point. That's actually not a bad point.
I'll give you bubble. I'll give you bubble at the highest, but I'll give you playoff lock because I think there are.
Colorado is
Go
like
ahead.
the definition of mid. You know what I mean? If you were like
Yes.
name me an MLS mid team, I'll be like, oh, Colorado Rapids.
Historically, yeah, but like,
Yeah.
I say historical in recent history for sure, but like, I feel like the overhaul recently under the new front office staff and bringing Armis in. Again, I kind of agree with Andrew's take around Armis not being able to have a great sophomore season as a manager. Sure, multiple examples of that. But I still feel like the quality of players they have for the most part is like they should build on what they did last season, right? Like, I'm not saying they're a playoff lock, but I could see them again fighting again for 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere around there. Definitely not.
Yeah, so-
I don't know. I would not put them on the level of the Fire. I'll put it that way. I would not.
Yeah,
put them on the level.
so I guess when we brought in the tier of like beyond mid, it was like just uninspiring, right? I don't think anybody in Colorado,
Fair.
like Jordan Mihailovic maybe like is the only person I'm like, oh yeah, this is really good, and maybe Sam Vines at the left back, if he can revitalize himself after that big injury he had 2 years ago or whatever, like if he can really step it up as like a top 5 left back. Everybody else, I'm like, okay, cool.
I can't put Austin above this team. I just can't. Like, they literally lost their MVP caliber player, and I don't think Colorado lost anyone nearly as impactful, right? With their roster, if anything, they should have progress. They should be able to build on last season to an extent. I don't know if 2024 was a one-off. I don't know, man.
But
again,
have they
if you guys feel
have
this
they really
way,
added anything though to that?
bro, I mean, but they haven't added anything maybe this season, but they added how many fucking players last year? I think at the end of the day, like, it's like what we're seeing with Nottingham Forest in the Premier League right now, right? I mean, signed all those players, takes a couple of years to really click, but then you look at what they're doing. I don't know. I feel like most teams progress year over year for the most part in MLS to an extent, as long as they can keep some of their biggest pieces around. Again, just my firm belief, considering what we know about some of the teams ahead of them. But if you want to keep them here, I'm down. Colorado fans, don't get mad at me, man. It's the whole round table here. So, want to keep beyond mid? Is that cool?
That's cool.
Everybody down?
I'm okay.
All right,
I'm okay with that.
Where'd
All
they
right,
finish?
let's do it.
7th last season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Expect the same
Okay.
similar finish then.
All right. Again, we'll see how this works out. Columbus, goosebumps,
Playoff
boys.
lock.
No Cucho. We're still playoff lock. Good to go.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
not.
I mean,
not. It's
when you have not,
Literally no Christian Ramirez, no Cucho, but just a lock for playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got Wilfred Nancy.
Yeah, it
and the
depends
rest
on who
of
they
them.
bring in, but them, I don't think they've replaced them at the moment, have they?
No,
No, but
now
I'm
you
confident
figure
they're
we see
working on
prime
it.
Nancy ball, right? We have to see a masterclass from Nancy.
They still have Roasty though, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
they still have Rossi. But it's just like, again, and they will sign somebody. I know they will. It's just like, I don't know who. And who's going to come in, like again, within MLS to come in and give them what they had. And you can't replace Cucho. There really isn't. Like, outside of Messi, he might have been pound for pound the best individual player or one of the best individual players in the league.
He should have been MVP in my opinion.
I think so too. But at the end of the day, right, like, you just can't replace him. So they got to get the production from somewhere else. And Christian Ramirez, bro. There's plenty of goals they scored last season where they were linking up with each other. So I don't know, man.
Listen,
I'm almost inclined to put him here.
He who bets
maybe I'm
against
crazy.
Darlington Nagby bets against bad ideas. This man,
Well,
I will never.
I think you also got to look. I mean, Wilfred Nancy is Wilfred Nancy. I think obviously clearly the best manager in MLS right now. But at the same time, I mean, you look at that roster, you have a massive hole. I get that I trust Wilfred Nancy just as much as anybody else does, but you got to also take into that roster in consideration. And right now, there's just not a guy up top.
And what if they lose Arston, right? Because there's rumors flying around him, right? So there's that potential opportunity for an exit. Again, I just got to see who they're going to backfill these guys with. That's my biggest thing. And I'm sure Nancy will find his players. I don't doubt that at all.
You really not see them coming in the top 8? Like even with all that, I still think they're a very strong side.
For me,
Yeah.
they're 6 to 8. Like they're just in that.
Yeah,
in that range for me.
I would agree. I think they should get like that last playoff spot. Maybe at worst, maybe they get the 8-9 game, but I mean,
like,
I think the bottom of the East is.
I mean, when you
so
say
bad.
it like that, that's Bubble FC.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Again, it's for the same reasons that I think Austin belongs in there, right? They lost their MVP caliber player to an extent in Driussi, right? And you can argue to an extent that Columbus lost their MVP caliber player and another significant impact player who comes off the bench. Who else can do on that team what Ramirez was doing for them? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
he's one of the best backup 9s in the league.
Yeah. Bro, I would have taken that dude. And Galaxy, fantastic move by getting him. I would have taken that dude to Dallas in a fucking heartbeat. But like, just looking at this now, without knowing who they're going to sign, I see them 6 to 8, somewhere in that range. Just, again, we're bumping up teams like Charlotte, other teams that we'll talk about down here. I don't know, man. Okay, who wants to keep him in playoff lock? Everybody good here? I'll keep him there if we want to, but I do feel like we will see Columbus.
My vote's for Bubble.
Same.
Yeah, I'd go Bubble for now because we don't know who they're going to get.
All right. Good shit, guys. Good shit. I like it. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. DC United.
Oh, no, we suck again.
Yeah. Honestly, bro, I don't even think we got to say anything more. DC.
Even with Benteke, they can't crawl out of that category. You
No,
know?
they
guys
bottled
like
it
20
last season.
goals.
They bottled it.
He saved that team from
without him. without him, this team would be so
gone.
Much worse.
Yeah, I mean, they live and die by Benteke, don't they?
He's still texting Wayne Rooney pissed off. There's no fucking way he's not, bro. Like there's no way he's not doing that. I would be furious if I had to just honor my contract with this roster built around.
He's like, you got fired twice. Good.
Facts, bro. I don't know, man. I feel bad for you.
Go take that Amazon jump, buddy.
What's really funny about DC is they make 15 signings every offseason, and they're all absolutely just. There's nothing better than just an average player in every signing that they bring in.
Yeah, bro.
So they haven't even put anybody around him.
Isn't their biggest signing right now like a goalkeeper?
Yeah.
From Korea, the 21-year-old.
Yeah. That is the most hype I've seen from DC United all season.
They've signed like 3 goalkeepers this offseason.
They're Chelsea without the fucking talent or hype. Like it's crazy to me, bro.
How strong is that rumor, by the way, for Insigne?
I can't this rumor.
Last time I saw it was like they said it wasn't DC.
Oh, well,
but that was the last thing I saw. I don't know.
Are there teams inside MLS shopping Insigne?
That would be the most lateral move of all time.
That was a fake rumor for sure. That's no way.
But bro, that's not even a level up. Insigne literally moves from like bad to bad. Like that, there's no level up. There's no benefit for him doing that. Like he needs to go to a big market team or something along those lines because
I feel like
he needs to go back home.
Benteke is gonna want to be out. So
he needs to go to like
you are allowed to have one buyout, right? One buyout per year.
Oh yeah, the new rules. I don't know, bro. I just think that whether he goes back to Italy or he finds somewhere else, it's just I don't know if it's working out.
He needs to go to Como FC.
I was just about to say, I think
Como FC.
Sek Fabregas is looking for a winger.
Hell yeah.
Hang out with Nico Coccini.
I guarantee he's loving it, bro. I guarantee he's loving it. All right, we'll keep him there. Cincinnati without Lucho now, officially getting a Vander most likely.
They upgraded.
Do they upgrade significantly production wise, or is it just kind of a slight upgrade?
I think at that 10 they upgraded. In my opinion, I was high on Evander last season.
We're high on Evander, but keep in mind, right? Like Lucho did a lot consistently for this team, and without Brendan Vasquez was still scoring goals, right? So I think that.
But look how
Lucho's-
good Evander was with Portland being not very good. So when you put him in a team like Cincy, I think it's going to make him even better.
True.
Especially
I
'cause
also remember
Cincy
Evander
can
choking in the
actually
playoffs.
defend.
Just saying.
I remember Acosta choking in the playoffs too.
Not very,
Dude,
not,
dude,
not
I'm
very
so-
often. Not very often.
I'm so glad bitch boy's out of the East. I can't stand Lucho Acosta, man.
The funniest move would have been to see him go to Columbus. That actually would have been fucking insane. I
That
can only
would've
imagine.
broken the internet.
Yeah, it really would have, bro. That would have been the craziest move after watching those fans boo him at the All-Star game in Columbus last year. That would have been.
They're like, oh
man.
wait, we have to cheer for this guy now?
Yeah, bro, that would have been insane. Yeah, man. They should still be good. Are they going to be top 2, top 3 in the East again? Are they MLS Cup contenders with Evander?
I think it's also how that Kevin Denke,
Yeah,
how that move pans
it's like
out for them.
$18 million.
Yeah, I'm not sold on MLS Cup yet because it's going to take a while for those players to get together. And I'm also one of the things that always worries me about players, and maybe this is my Red Bull haunting me, but Belgian strikers don't tend to get off the mark in MLS right off the bat. Or players from the Belgian league, I should say. They find it. I think a lot of them come over here. I think this was the Van Zier thing too. Came over here thinking like, it's America. Like I'm gonna walk in. I scored 15
good
goals.
though. He was pretty good though. I thought. I thought Van Zier was pretty.
I don't
solid.
know. No, he wasn't.
No, he was as good as every other striker we had. He got into really good positions and then couldn't hit the frame of the goal from 4 yards.
Yeah, fair.
did.
But I think
He did.
I look at all of his plays, especially on the wing when he had to play out wide, and those blistering runs he was making, the work ethic that you saw. Like I could see he kind of felt like Atlanta's Saba. Saba more effective, don't get me wrong, but I still feel like the work ethic and everything was there. And you could, I don't know, I appreciate those types of players. So, but
No,
I'm sure you don't mind Ben Zier moving on. But
No.
I see what you're saying. And since they has struggled with this, even last season, right? They had homie that took a punch to the jaw. What was his name?
Bupensa,
right? That was supposed to be the fucking, the heir
guy.
apparent to Vasquez, and like it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
So and him and no
not,
matter what,
not
right?
performance reasons, but yes,
Fair enough, right? But he never got going, right? And then now Evander has to get his feet wet with the team, get gelling a little bit, right? Build some chemistry. So I don't mind this shout. I do think they're a playoff block, though. Like,
yeah, at the same
yeah.
time though, it's still like he's still acclimated to the league. He still knows like it's MLS. He has to get acclimated to the new people around him. Out of it's just the league, he already knows. So
I'd be curious to see what the season looks like, considering we only saw so much of Evander last season. Again, crazy run of form, right? Because he didn't even start the season with Portland. He kind of came in midway through. So, yeah, I mean, great, fantastic 2024 by kind of what the expectation was. But we'll see if he can do it again. I think it'll be interesting to see what he does in Cincinnati. But I expect them to still be up there. Noonan's a good coach, and they're still spending. So, yeah. Anybody disagree? We can move on. Cool. All right, Dallas.
speaking of Lucho, it's his new club.
His new club. I'm going to put him on the bubble. I think Lucho gives them that. We talked about it, Andrew, on your show. They needed a 10 to even be relevant this season. They got him. And so I think Lucho, man, we'll see against Houston coming up next weekend. But I think Lucho and Musa, when they get going, in my opinion, going to feast, bro.
How's that center back room looking?
Yeah,
we signed two since we last had that preview for FC Dallas. So
did you really?
Yeah. We signed two.
Orga Hyder, however the hell you say his name.
Yeah, I can't even say his name,
3 million.
bro. Yeah, so we've spent in the center back position twice now. It's kind of crazy. Abubakar probably won't even start at the center back.
I know we were
position.
talking about him being the biggest addition, right?
Yeah, he kind of was, bro, for a lot of different reasons. But now, I mean, you look at Dallas, and there's still holes. Don't get me wrong. Still got to sign a left back. Still got to find a 6 out there. 'Cause I don't think a 31-year-old Brazilian is going to be able to come in and just carry the load the whole way through. So I still think they're on the bubble. I'm not just saying they're a playoff lock, but I think Lucho will do a lot for this roster, and specifically for Musa, who I felt like was carrying the entire fucking offensive load last season. So I don't know, bro. I mean, Lucho, former MVP, MLS best 11 the last 3 years in a row. I feel like, and he also, did he finish top 5 in the MVP race last season?
I think so. Was he in there?
No, I don't think so. I don't.
Maybe
Was he
an
in the
R.
finals?
Maybe an R.
Maybe in
MLS.
ours, I think he was. I know he was top 5 in GA 100%. I think that you just look at what he's doing, man. I think Eric Quill said it best, bro. He is an Argentinian fine wine. This man just gets better with age. So I don't know, man. Obviously, I'm going to back my team fucking through and through, but I do think that they're right on the fringe of a playoff spot. As a team.
I'm just glad
is
he's
an
out of the
improvement.
East.
Which is an improvement for FC Dallas from last year. So I mean, it's not, at least you're not saying MLS Cup contenders. I mean,
No, hold on. We got to make one fix. Fuck those guys.
Thank you for taking him out of the East, so I don't have to deal with this bullshit in the playoffs. Thank God.
Yeah, there you go. You don't have to worry about the Lucho demon coming back to haunt you. Yeah, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Anybody disagree with this? This is cool. I put my head of Austin because Nico's still the coach over there. So
I just want to know how long before you send Juan onto another MLS club. That's why, because the man has just been. I feel like you brought Shaq Moore and he's gonna get shipped out again.
Yeah,
he's
probably
been everywhere.
a little bit
He's
of a
been
homecoming
everywhere.
for him, bro. We're shipping players like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that we did, though. I feel like we had some talent that was just a little bit complacent. I think, like having this, we said dog mentality. I don't know how many times in the show last season, but he's like Eric Quill is saying that a lot right now, and I feel like that's the type of team he's trying to put together. So I don't know if Shaq Moore is that per se, but I do feel like Lucho is that. So
look, man, it's Texas. Home of Clem Dempsey, the biggest dog of them all. So I mean,
biggest dog of them all. So I don't know, man. I think it's kind of weird to see Dallas next to Columbus Crew. That's why I think this bubble FC shit is interesting, right? A lot of hot takes here. I'd be okay with moving them up depending on how the rest of this looks, but let's see how it goes. Houston,
bubble FC.
All the Texas teams in bubble.
Mid.
Really?
I like the
they had
McGlynn
one of the
signing.
best defenses last year.
I like the McGlynn signing.
They just sold Marcial this year. They just sold Marcial.
Yeah, Miguel was a big loss. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not thinking that they just collapse. I don't think he was like the entire back line.
I don't like Andrew Tarbell in goal. I don't think he's the answer. And I say Marcial. I'm sorry, Mikael. I'm sorry. Mikael was so big there.
Yeah,
they're leaning now on Daniel Steres, and it's Daniel Steres and who's the other? I don't even know who their second.
Who's the other center back? Yeah,
Ethan Bartlow. And then we're probably finally going to see Fenabawa, something like that. I just know he's the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. That's all I know. That
yeah. I know you're talking about.
Didn't get drafted, but somehow I don't know. I'm so confused by that.
UDFA.
Yeah. But I think Mikael losing a top 3 center back in MLS is gonna sting, no matter what, right? No matter what.
Yeah,
I think.
But I think with the Dynamo, the defense is definitely a mentality thing, because I think with the Dynamo they definitely defend as a team fairly well. So Mikael is a big loss. I mean, the guy was huge last year, mind you. This was a guy that came out of the Dynamo too and came in for an injured back line in the previous year, and then just held that spot for from ever since he got that. He earned his spot. So I'm not saying Mikael is a big loss, and I think it's huge for the Dynamo. This is what they're trying to do now, is trying to get these players on the cheap and sell them on the high. And I think that's what Pat Austin is trying to do. They are bringing in Andrade on loan from, I believe it was Fluminense. I think we're going to see interesting to see how he fits in. But I mean, Ethan Bartlow, I don't think is not he's still a good shout for a solid defender. I think him and Shevchenko are going to be a good partnership. You still have Griffin Dorsey. You still have Franco Escobar, who's good for a yellow card every once in a while. And then also you have one of the best safety nets in Arthur. So I think that the Dynamo, as far as defensively goes, is still going to be there. The question will be, can we see more for Ponce, and what's going to look like to have a healthy Nelson Quiones and Nelly as well? And where do we see Bossy? So I think there's a lot of interesting questions for them, but I think Bubble FC is pretty fitting for the Dynamo right now.
Yeah, because still, no matter what, right? Best defensive team in
but you better West. Put me in front of Austin FC. That's
hey, yo, facts, bro, facts. I got you. Don't worry about that. Nico's riding the back of the bus right here. I think with Houston, they were the second best defensive team in all MLS. I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do without Mikael this season. But I don't think the drop off will be steep. I think where did they finish last year? Was it top 6, top 5 in the West?
They were
maybe?
They were fifth. They were
They were
fifth. Okay.
fifth.
Yeah. So again, they fall to like 7th or 8th. Sure. Do I think they're going to be so mid that I put them down here with the Fire?
I mean, you lose Coco Carrasquilla, but you gain a Jack McGlynn. So I think that
For at least a little bit.
at least for 6 months.
At least for 6 months. Yeah.
You'll make
Sorry,
a
he just
profit off
got
that
there,
at least.
but-
Bro, he
But
just
I'm also,
got there. And they're
I'm not
already
gonna lie
moving.
though, I'm actually liking what I'm seeing from this Duenas kid, who is also like a Swiss Army knife. Because the kid can also play either left back and full back, and I think also on the wing, but also can play a solid CM. So I kind of am interested about how that kid's gonna look. I'm hoping I get to see Sebastian Rodriguez this season for the Dynamo, probably more in U.S. Open Cup games, but I think the midfield isn't necessarily in a detrimental position. Ache and Coco Carrasquilla are 2 big losses, but I think it's also interesting to see what this midfield's going to look like with Jack McGlynn and Bossy. I'm guessing will be playing more of a 10 role this year.
Get ready for some McGlynn bangers, bro. I actually do rate McGlynn. I think he needed to get out of Philly. I thought he needed to get out of MLS, and it sounds like he might in the foreseeable future. But until then, he's on Houston. He should level them up a little
somehow
bit.
Red Bulls and NYCFC got like 20% of that too.
I know, isn't that insane?
Yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But I don't mind this. I think Bubble FC is probably perfect for them. Miami.
The only sorry, one more before. The only thing I'll say is Steve Clark was the 3rd best goalkeeper in PSXG plus minus last year. They have to replace 7 goals saved above average, and I don't think Tarbell does that for you. So that's the only reason I'm not.
Yeah, but Steve Clark couldn't save a penalty to save his life either. So, and
I'm not expecting 15 games in the Dynamo's regular season to come down to penalties, though. I'm just
fair enough.
I will say I do trust Tarbell. Right now, I do trust him. And this is just coming from someone that has some personal experience.
Sure, yeah.
With Tarbell. So I mean, I think I think with the backline the Dynamo have, I think that Tarbell will do fairly serviceable. Now on his feet, I might be worried a little bit about his footwork, but luckily we have Chenko, so there's that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Either way, if they drop lower than here, and I'm wrong about this pick, it only benefits FC Dallas. So we move. All right, Inter Miami. Just
Contenders. They don't win it though. I don't think they'll win it.
You think it's Charlotte and Miami in the Eastern Conference Final?
No, I don't think Miami wins the MLS Cup this year again.
No,
I
think they're gonna.
I'm putting my neck on the line out there. I don't think
the
they'll win again.
elusive trophy for Messi.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Messi doesn't complete football until 2028. He's going to stay here forever until he can win that cup.
Doesn't complete football until an MLS trophy is won. That's insane.
I do think it's interesting that when you move on from Tata Martino and your solution is Mascherano. I think that's an interesting idea. It seems like he is trying to embrace MLS a little bit more than other outside MLS guys come from, at least from what I've seen a little bit of. But yeah, I think that to me, this was like a missed opportunity to go find somebody that has a better perspective of MLS that could have helped at least with the group of players that you have to get them to understand how this league works. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what Miami does.
It's Inter Messi, bro. It's just Messi wanted his guy, and they got Messi's guy. So it's just, for me, it's like who is actually running this team?
It's Messi.
Right.
Maybe
so
Messi is the LeBron James.
They just want a hollow figure to be the guy who's going to be the coach, but like, how much power does he really have?
That was a cold advert, by the way, when just him kicking the football through the goalpost.
Yeah, right.
That was a cold advert.
Yeah,
but they did pick up Segovia and Allende. I can't say his name right, but they look like some good pickups. I think they've gotten stronger and fixed a lot of their issues from last year. So as long as Mascherano isn't a horrible coach, then they're definitely going to be up there.
I don't know. He was kind of mid with Argentina, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, there's numerous names you could throw into that hat outside of maybe Scaloni most recently. So, and again, I know he was coaching kind of more of the youth setup, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what he does, right? As a senior manager, I do believe he's going to be just maybe taking a few orders from Messi along the way, but we'll find out, bro. We'll find out. Either it's probably going to feel like more of a teammate than an actual coach, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So we'll see, bro. I don't mind that. I'm keeping Charlotte ahead though. Just for
man, they got Fafa Pico.
No, yeah, he just scored a 94th minute equalizer.
Did he really? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that game ended
Look at
2-2.
John.
Yo,
John's in
you
the
have to
mud.
go watch this because it was a handball. 100% there's a handball, but you know,
Oh,
we don't want to
man.
call
Bro,
that.
we need the
Argentina's
headlock. We need
back,
the headlock.
baby.
Yo,
I need
Please
the
give me
head loss,
penalty.
bro. On Wake Up MLS, we have to have that, John. Have to have it, bro. Yeah,
Hand of
I mean, look,
God.
Fafa. I mean, he was good for Vancouver. I rated Fafa, bro. Remember how excited Ednon was for Fafa to go to Austin when those rumors were there, and then like he just completely U-turned
Oh
to
my
fucking
God.
Miami, bro.
I
it
just
was
want
insane.
to I'm
Oh,
gonna replay
man.
that in my head again.
Wait,
I'm gonna go
but
scroll up in the group
why would
text.
he do? They have Lord Jarzinho. Why would he want Fafa?
I don't know, bro. They needed help. And the Drusy rumors were swirling. They just needed some help. Papa's aging, right? But on top of that, it was just all the Austin fans were so excited, and this man just like whipped out the Miami kid and U-turned. That shit was crazy.
Bro was like, agree to terms.
Yeah,
was
and then
like,
just
oh
said,
my
"Fuck
God.
y'all, I'm going to Miami."
Pull the okie
I
doke.
don't blame him though. He's gonna play with Messi, or you gonna play with Sanchez and Vasquez. Come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah, that was a handball. I just saw the goal. Clear as day handball. Clear as day.
We're still watching that shit. That's crazy. All right, guys. LA
Back.
Galaxy. There.
Yeah,
I got him in
contenders.
playoff lock. I've got him in a playoff lock. Hold on a
I
second.
think
So
they're
here's
gonna.
why. My thought
little
process
salt?
behind this is
Little
my thought
salt.
process. Little salt. Ouch. Ouch.
Continue. I'm sorry.
My thought process behind this is Ricky Puig was such a big part of their attack last year, such a big part of their team identity last year, that it's going to take them longer than most people expect to figure out how to play without him. But when they settle in, they're going to be very, very good. The problem is that time that it's going to take to find that rhythm without Ricky Puig, and now without Joseph Paintsel as well, by the way, for 6 to 8 weeks, I think.
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. That is going to set them back just enough where they're definitely in the playoffs, but I don't see them as a top 1 or 2, and that might hurt them when they get to the playoffs, as you know, when they're traveling for the home and away, and when they're traveling for games after that.
See, I disagree only because in the West, right, LAFC's lost a significant amount of players. I don't see where they're backfilling from. Salt Lake lost Chicho. I don't see where they're going to kind of make some of those goals up maybe along the way. Seattle added Ferreira. Sure, we'll see how that goes. I mean, I think he is a solid addition as a FC Dallas fan myself. So, listen, easy, bro. Easy. And then from there, right, you kind of break into 5th, 6th, and 7th with Houston, Minnesota, and Colorado. So, again, I just don't know who's really going to in the West dethrone LA. And so for that reason, I think guys like Sanabria coming in should be pretty solid all the way around as a defensive mid. I think pushing Cedillo up into more of a playmaker to an extent. I think he's a great passer. He's never really been kind of that 10, that Ricky Puig role. I don't think he'll have to be, but he'll just need to be solid enough when they kind of figure things out. So maybe Marco Royce will also step up this coming season. I would love to see that, considering that he was a big name touted when he came into the league and kind of fizzled out from there last season. So they still won. I mean, it didn't really matter. But I don't know, man.
He's pissed off at the salary cap thing. Him and Yoshida.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
bro. Yeah,
I'm about to say right now you have 2 very disgruntled players that are more towards MLS, not necessarily towards the LA Galaxy.
Yeah, I heard NYCFC needs a 10, so why not make a trade for him?
I don't know, man. And until they figure out how to stop Gabriel Peck, I just don't know if anybody outside of maybe LAFC is really going to push Galaxy. Like maybe the Quakes come in with Bruce Arena and completely shock the world. I don't know. It's a big bet. It's a big bet to make. We can put a playoff lock if we want to.
San Jose this season, I don't know. That
take.
seems like a tall task for San Jose this season.
I just think I need another 9 at least. I know Christian Ramirez is there now, and the only thing is I like him as coming off the bench more so than starting right now, especially at his age. But yeah, because I think that was a big loss for them to lose
Jovic. Yeah, Jovic is a huge loss. I still think Ramirez is going to cook, in my opinion.
Yeah, but when your bench replacement for Ramirez is Miguel Berry,
bro, Miguel Berry has his days, bro. He has his days. Yes,
I have a story.
So do I, but I'm not signed to a pro contract.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have a story with Christian Ramirez. Because he was the deal wasn't announced yet, so they were on his preseason, and he was like warming up on the sidelines, and the commentator had to call him trialist number 17 because he wasn't officially announced yet. So then his family was like, pissed off about it. It's like, oh, why can't you just call him by his name? Because apparently MLS has to announce the transfer first before you could actually use his name in a
But they know
broadcast or
who the
whatever.
hell that is. They know that's Christian Ramirez. That's
Yeah,
crazy, bro.
but because the transfer wasn't officially announced, they had to call him trial list number 17.
Some legalese right
MLS
there.
just being MLS, bro.
Yeah. The most unique league of all time. Thanks a lot, fucking Don Garber. All right. Well,
Him and his big ears are useless.
Yeah, you want to keep a playoff lock? Are we cool here then? Everybody?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, fuck it. All right, for the vibes, I'm down. If they're there, by the way, LAFC got to be somewhere like right here, in my opinion. Maybe here.
Yep, that's where I was thinking.
I think they're just making way for Griezmann.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to
That's
be,
why
it's
they're
gonna be
shipping off a lot of
summer
players.
push for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll definitely come back. I think they'll stumble a little bit the way Seattle stumbled at the beginning of last season, where they're just going to be high, same expectation they always have, and then they just kind of have a slower start than normal. But I expect them fully to bounce back in a big way by the end of the regular season. So
just
They
in
gotta
time for
figure out
Greasy.
Giroud, though, you can't just have Giroud, like, they're just not using him right. So they got to change it up to be able to actually feed Giroud the ball in the right way.
hey, bro, you didn't see those the marketing for their new kit? They're using Giroud the right way from what I saw, man. That dude looks good in anything. Let's be fucking
He'll
real.
bring the ladies. I don't
Hide your
doubt
ladies.
that.
It's Valentine's Day. Hide your ladies. Hide your ladies.
Yeah, hide your ladies, bro. Yeah.
Also,
Giroud.
I'm intrigued by like what's gonna happen with Jeremy Abobasi. I'm hoping for a bounce back for him.
Yeah, I think with better service, he will be a better striker. He gets to stay in California too. That's awesome for him. I think with the Quakes, again, him and the likes of Christian Espinoza just were never going to be viewed as hitting their potential in that team. Like it was just never really going to happen. So I don't think he'll be a star for them up front, but he should significantly see an uptake from what he was doing with San Jose. So
and then also Mark Delgado, dog. So
oh yeah, dog. That was actually a huge move to replace. My guess would be Ilya Sanchez, right, in that midfield. So yeah, man, that's actually a really good addition. So they should still be pretty decent. I'm down to keep them right there. Some fans might hate that we have them behind Carson, but fuck it, I'm down. Let's leave them there. All right,
They'll give you
Minnesota
some brownie
United.
points for saying Carson.
Yeah, probably. I won them back in. Minnesota United, mid bubble.
I got them bubble. I
Right.
like their attack this year.
They're actually going to have a coach for the start of the season, unlike last season. So
That's so crazy to me too, right? And they were still somehow winning fucking games.
they were
they're
what,
good.
6 in the West, and they still beat RSL.
Yeah. It's I don't know, man. And again, second year, we'll see if he again sees a sophomore slump or if he's able to just build on what he had last season. But they should be on the fringe again. Maybe decision day losers. We'll see. There will be some of those on Bubble FC that will just be decision day losers. But I don't mind this at all. And Nashville's almost for me kind of in the same boat. Like, actually, probably beyond mid, bro. For being honest,
I've got a mid. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with BJ Callahan, and I'm not thrilled with. I think they've made a couple of good moves, but I just don't know. There's nothing that inspires me about them, like jumping off the page as being unbelievably good. I think Tag Seth is going to be solid, and that's kind of it. In terms of the moves in. In terms of the move in, I think Hani sees a resurgence. I think you see Sam Surridge be better. Obviously, you don't bet against Walker Zimmerman and Joe Willis, but there's nothing there that makes me think like, yeah, they're definitely a lock for a top 6 spot.
Yeah, fair enough. BJ over Greg though. All right, BJ #BJ over Greg. All right, that's why I have them here. All right, the Revs.
Bad.
I mean, they are the definition of rebuilding. Like
they
have changed the entire roster basically.
They had to
with the worst team in the league last year.
yeah, it's great, but they still got Carlos Gil. So
yeah, Porter's still there, right?
Yeah, Porter's still there. But
I just want to know if
Carlos Gil's still there, so they should.
If
still
you're
have
Campana, if you're Campana, how do you feel?
Hey, bro, he's starting now. Fuck it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's a positive for him. Like
If
he needed to go.
you trade sunny Miami for harsh winter New England.
He's got to make it happen now, though. He's put it all out there. He's got to be that guy now. So
cannot be worse than Vrioni. There's no shot. No shot.
I don't think he will.
No, there's no shot. He's definitely got to be a level up for New England. Now, will they be above 10th or 11th? I don't know.
I forgot Rudy's here now.
Yeah. Jackson Ewell. They just been scooping up all these players, man. Tim Parker.
Jackson Ewell's another one that I don't
Parker's
know.
with Red Bull now.
That's a weird one too, actually. It's just weird seeing him in that kit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of like, yeah, these two are very interchangeable for me. You could also interchange these two, in my opinion, a little bit. So I don't know. I mean, the Revs, there's such a question mark from where they were last season. I don't know if they've leveled up significantly. We'll just say they're rebuilding. Fuck it. They're retooling the whole roster. I don't think we have to talk more.
They're rebuilding or they're just bad. I mean, so.
Yeah, they're rebuilding or just bad. They're definitely one of the two. NYCFC, Davi, give me the bold take, bro.
I'll say bubble.
You know, if they were Cushing, bro, if Cushing was still in, they'd be somewhere right about here.
No, absolutely not. We'd be fucking cooked.
1,000%. There's no
MLS
shot.
contenders.
Bro,
we're going. Oh no, we're going 0-3 again.
From 23 to 24, the jump was significant, bro. The jump was significant.
I mean, but they fired him, so I mean, thank God. I was advocating for his firing for 2 years. So,
all right. So they're bubble behind.
Yeah, yeah, because they're gonna have 2 DP spots open now with Talis Magno on loan, and they just sold Santi Rodriguez for 17 million, which is essentially what they spent last winter.
Fantastic deal. Fantastic deal.
They essentially spent 17 million over like 3 players last winter. So you can't have like an off season that you spend like 20 mil like every year. And plus, like, there's still young players on this roster. I think you'll see the emergence of Ojeda and Julian Fernandez this season with Pascal Janssen, who has a history of losing his best players and still managing to get top 4 finishes in the Eredivisie with AZ Alkmaar. And he's been coaching like youth for like 20 years. And I think this is a fantastic hire. Like, people outside of MLS as well, they're saying this is a good hire as well. And this guy, he's been on CFG's radar for 4 years. So just perfect timing, I guess. Bust out my AP, perfect timing.
I'm also kind of hoping we get to see a little bit of Maximo Carrizo as well.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think that they might replace like that 10 position. I don't know if Maximo Carrizo gets a play here, but
at least
Pascal Janssen, but Pascal Janssen said this wasn't an open tryout at preseason, so he knows we don't know what he's gonna like his system is right now, but I think he knows like what he has in his players and everything, and the players saying it's a lot more intense than in seasons past. So I think we'll be just fine. They're saying that there might be a marquee signing in the summer, whether that's Kevin De Bruyne or not. I don't know, but
this dude's channeling this fucking move in any way he can. He's manifesting this shit. Like it's like he just wants De Bruyne here so bad.
He's like,
dude, it has to happen, bro. It has to happen.
Better make this happen,
dude. It has to happen because like the stadium's coming in like in a couple seasons. So what's the whole point of having the partnership with CFG if we're not going to benefit from it?
A rebrand?
Yeah. And so we're waiting for that new logo to also hit the kits. Like I don't know. NYCFC is just the anticipation FC right now. I don't know, man. I'm down with this pick. This is totally fine. I don't think De Bruyne happens this coming season. I'll be honest.
It may not. I mean, who knows? It might be like a clause in his contract where after some time with Man City, he comes to NYCFC. But
he's not.
I don't know if that's just me being delusional.
The Premier League. No, it's not delusion. But I don't think he's up to snuff for the Premier League anymore. But is he gonna jump right into MLS? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see what he's thinking.
I think realistically, if it's gonna happen, I think they wait till after the World Cup.
Yeah, that could be a good shout. He'll get one more run with Belgium there.
Yeah, he gets one more season over there, and then he comes over here.
Hey, you guys still got Santi Rodriguez, or I saw?
No, we just sold him for 17 million.
So he did go. Okay.
Yeah, it's confirmed, and that's why like the club hasn't been posting like pictures of him, and that's why he hasn't been featuring in like preseason games. But I'm telling you, watch out for these young guys, man, because Pascal's gonna cook.
Yeah,
man. Well, you gotta take that money like we did with Facu.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 17 mil, the fifth most expensive like fee of all time. Like you got to take that.
Yeah, I agree. Like that's a great deal. And dude, it's crazy that you guys got more money for Santi than Columbus got for Cucho. Let that shit settle.
That's
process that right there. That's fucking insane.
Which means we now have 2 DP spots open.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, bro.
I just clocked that. Yeah.
But keep in mind, La Liga clubs don't really spend big money on anybody. So I guarantee you they played hardball, and Columbus was just trying to get something back, a return on their investment. So for a lot of reasons, that's why it went down the way that it did. But Either way, man, fantastic deal. And
They're gonna go
should be on
shopping
the
because
fringe.
the window's still open for about a month, so they'll go shopping with that.
Could be up here again. We'll see.
Nah,
We'll find out.
put it
Nah,
bubble.
keep it on the
Maybe
bubble.
yeah.
All right.
I'm not trying to like overhype it. I've been
Put them
too
in front of Austin
optimistic
FC.
apparently, but I mean, I just
Davi's
need some
like,
excitement, man.
he's so hurt from 2024, bro. He's just like,
Dude,
you know
I just need something, man, because I've seen the preseason with Pascal and like this is like genuine football. I almost wanted to cry because like I've wasted 2.5 years of fucking Cushing, and now that this guy comes in, and you just
playoff team Cushing, bro. Cushing ball was getting you guys into playoffs. I won't hear the slander anymore. I won't hear the slander anymore.
But that's mainly because of the good stretch we had.
Yeah, fair enough. But we move. He got you to playoffs, bro. A year after you didn't. You guys bottled decision day in a massive way, and he got you right back up there. So,
and that's why he got fired.
All right, touche. All right, Red Bulls.
The team that
it's been 15 years in a row. We're really going to try and say 16 is going to be any different. We're in a playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, I will put
this
you guys.
This isn't a hard pick.
No, fair enough, but I like the signings.
Wait,
I
hot
do
take.
like the
They
signings.
don't make the playoffs this year.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
Could you imagine, bro? Just like, nah, you know what?
Stop it. If Red Bull is going to be not in the playoffs, then New York City is going to make their own tier called playing the wrong sport. Okay, because Red Bull is so far clear of New York City in terms of roster build. It is
for now.
Genuinely, well, absolutely, but genuinely unbelievable because that's not how this works, right? We're the team that goes youth and has no signings in, and you guys have the connection for the big spend. So to be in this position is very, very exciting. But I don't believe that this team is going to be as close to the play-in game as they were last year. I don't think we're a 7th place team this year, but I also don't believe that we're going to be fighting for MLS Cup with this group, unless we get one more big signing across the door from our friends, our Red Bull friends across the sea. But we'll see.
Could be, but just stay with your chest, bro. Andrew, and look, to see Choupo-Moting dunking on NYCFC in that Hudson River derby, it's gonna hit like crack, bro. Just say it, bro.
Hey, you know what? We
can all see it.
We needed that because I needed Cushing out. We needed that,
bro. Davi's he's always active in the group chat. Andrew, this dude, I mean, it's like it fell off a cliff that night. It was insane, bro. I was there for it. I was there for all of it.
Listen, dude. Like Choupo-Moting's gonna score 6 goals like he does every year in every team he's ever played on. If 4 of them against City,
surely not. Surely not.
He's gonna have another iconic goal line clearance against NYCFC.
What's his over under of games played? I think Matt Doyle says over under of games played across all competitions like 19.5. Like nobody's expecting him to even play. So
my question is Forsberg going to stay healthy the whole time? Because
that's another one.
Yeah, because he was like out for like 30, like what? Over half the season?
Well, he missed like a third of the season because he got hurt on international duty. So if we either don't send him or wrap him in bubble wrap, we'll be okay. But Lewis Morgan's going to be solid. I think our back line looks stronger. Carlos Cornell's still solid. There's not a lot of pieces in there that I'm like not thrilled about having. I think our back line with Tim Parker being in a rotation piece is going to be solid. Like everything feels good for the first. Like there's not a position I'm coming into this where I'm like, we really needed to upgrade that or get some depth behind there. And that's the first time since like 2018 I felt that way. So it's exciting times, I think, but I don't think we're contenders just yet.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Julian Hall as far as like, is he going to get any time with near Red Bull, or will we see more with MLS Next Pro?
I think you're going to see him kind of in the same role he was this year. I think he's a year away. I think he's a year away because I think with Choupo, with Lewis Morgan, and then with this Victor Bogash guy, who I'm also not thrilled about, I think they're going to be 1, 2, 3, and then Hall is going to kind of just be in there for Open Cup matches and kind of rotation pieces. But I think you see him more with the second team for one more year because I think he's only 17 still, so still got a little bit of time to work with him. I think when he hits 18, I think you see him come in and have a little bit more of an impact.
All right, fair enough. And before potentially his move to Barcelona, we'll see if that actually ends up happening.
Yeah, I saw that link. That was funny.
Yeah, crazy, bro. It'd be insane to actually sell an academy product for like 10 million. That'd be it's a dream.
Yeah,
man. It's a dream for an MLS team. All right, Orlando, John, talk to me, bro. Be realistic, man. What are we thinking? We lost Facu. How we feel about your team now?
I still think we're a playoff lock. Yeah. And I don't feel like I'm being too biased in that. Like we've been in the top 4 the last 3 or 4 seasons under Oscar. I think, obviously lack of Facu, but Marco Pasalic, I do like what I've seen from him so far. So if he can replace Facu in those goals, plus Edward Atuesta coming in, I think is really going to change the way we play in terms of we're going to have Cesar Rujo sit a bit deeper and let Atuesta be that box-to-box guy. Whereas last year it was only Wilder and Cesar, and they didn't really have that ability to get forward and join into the attack. So I think that kind of changes a little few things for us, but most of it should pretty much be like the years before. But if y'all think of where, if you think the time of Orlando City is fading away, then I understand that too, because the East is getting more competitive and we've tried to stay relevant, but I think it depends on how these new signings go.
I think Atuesta was a good signing. I think you're right. I think, the two destroyers you guys had in the middle of the field did just that, but it was difficult for them to, like, outside of the occasional banger, right, from Cartagena, and it was really just like they were there to break up play, but you kind of missed something a little bit different in the midfield. So seeing that now change a little bit, and I rate Pareja, obviously being a Dallas guy myself, so I'm not mad at this. I'm sure this was Hector's championship DVD team last season, so I'm sure he also agrees. Hector?
Oh, it was what a run last year.
What a
I
roller
was like, I'm
coaster
not
to go
even
through.
an Orlando City fan.
Oh,
but
man. You don't want to be a
in the
Orlando City
emotions.
fan. Trust me.
I was like, I'm right with y'all with the emotions. I was championship DVD moment every single time I had it. But it was thrilling. No, I think that they made some. I think Atuesta is a great addition to the team. I'm not entirely sure. I think did Lodero go to Uruguay?
No, he's still here. Yeah, he's
Okay.
still there.
Okay,
That was a failed deal. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
We'll see what happens if Nico ends up pushing for something or not. But
Yeah, we lost a few other minor guys, but no one. Only Facu is the major significant loss.
I mean, you still got Angulo, who's a dog. I mean, yeah, this team is gonna be pretty good.
Ahead of Atlanta or no?
No.
Okay.
AJ's happy.
Yeah, AJ's happy. Okay.
The reason why, because they have Ronnie Dyla. That's why.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic manager hire. I know Dappy was giving all the plaudits there. Philadelphia, mid.
Oh no, we're gonna
They're
suck
bad.
again.
Yeah, I would say it's they're bad. You could say this again, but I don't know.
I feel like their category should be Caven Sullivan.
Yeah, seriously, bro. Like, dude, imagine being Carnell. Just imagine being Carnell, bro. And like, you get into this team, right? And the front office tells you, all right, man, we're not really going to make signings. Just go ahead and do what you do, right? With these young guys, and we'll just we'll give you the curtain treatment. Let's just see what happens. Like, bro, I don't know, man. This is a job that I probably would have stayed away from all the way around. But I don't know. For me, I can't stand Philadelphia, so I'm totally down to put them all the way down here as just being bottom of the barrel.
Honda's really proud right now.
I'm pretty sure me and Andrew can't stand Philly either. So
they mean nothing to me.
Yeah, me neither.
As far as like, they're not even there, as far as I'm concerned. Like they're
I don't even know who you are.
They want us to be rivals.
That's what I want to know. Like, which team in the league is like, oh, Philly.
Dude,
they
we
want us to be
just have like
so bad.
Just have the meme with the Bloods and the Crips. That's me. That's me and Andrew holding like the
holding up.
We hate Philly. We hate Philly.
All right, fair enough. Like I said, for me, I mean, you could put them at New England's level, sure, but like it really wouldn't surprise me to have them like right down here with DC.
They won a Super Bowl. It's only fair that their MLS team is shit.
Done. I agree with that statement. All right, Portland, Noah Vander.
Mid.
DaCosta though, that's a
DaCosta brings them to mid for me. I think they're
definitely not.
Remember, there's a Timbers fan that's going to be in the comments.
Oh yeah, this guy fucking lives in our comments, bro. Loves Portland. And
we suck again.
Oh no, we suck again.
The only reason I know DaCosta is because
he'll be interesting, but he's not a Vander.
Only reason I know DaCosta is because he was fodder in last year's FIFA Team of the Season. So
they're probably ahead of Nashville, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're still coached by Neville.
It's still fuck Phil Neville.
Yeah.
And they haven't made any improvements to their back line. They gave up nearly like 67 goals last year, whatever the number was. They're
still one of the more exciting games to watch. If you want to watch a game as a neutral, just to see back and forth, Portland was fantastic to watch.
Didn't they come back from like a 3-goal deficit one time?
Yeah, they're the definition of MLS 4.0, right? They're not going to stop a lot of goals, but they're going to score a whole bunch. 5-4. way better than 1-0.
Also, way to lose your wild card game to
Yeah,
Vancouver.
At home
on
You
your
were
own
given a
field.
home game as
Yeah.
a lower seed.
And lose would actually be an improvement. They got their asses kicked, bro. It was an absolute slapping on your own
really
field.
thought Vancouver was the home team.
Yeah, 1000%, bro. 1000%.
Dude,
White Caps walked all over.
that clap back from Sartini was cold too.
Oh yeah,
It's a cold clap back.
The not believing in God.
Yeah, I don't
comment was
believe in God.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That was hilarious, bro. Okay, so I'm down. Let's just keep them there. Salt Lake with no Chicho.
Mid.
bubble.
mid.
Bubble.
I got him bubble.
Oh, no, we suck again?
Oh no, we suck again.
I mean, they don't have any dog, man.
Dogs got neutered, bro.
Dogs got neutered.
Dude,
I mean,
I'm telling
they still have
there-
Luna.
they're
do
better.
still
They're
lose.
better than I thought they would be. When we did our preview, it was highlighted to me that they're better than I thought they would be. Their,
Do you
their
just rate
attack has
Mastroeni,
played-
or like what is it?
I do rate Mastroeni. I think he's a really good player-to-player manager. I think he gets the best out of all the players that he's got. I think there are going to be a lot of players that we don't know a ton about who came in because you look at their offseason, they didn't do a massive amount of big name signing, lots of MLS depth, lots of MLS experience, but that's because they did a whole bunch of work in the winter window, right? They brought in Marschuk, they brought in Gonçalves, Diego Gonçalves, the number 10. These players who a lot of people are looking at like, they didn't do too much last year. David Gosstherum is going to strike at least one of those players in 2025. So I'm going to say bubble. I don't know if it's a lock on for the playoffs, but yeah, I think that this is a team that is going to surprise people.
Fair enough. This is the highest I would put them in this category, probably.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
That's fair.
Okay. All right. We'll keep them there. San Diego.
I don't know.
MLS Cup.
Bubble.
Is there an I don't know tier? Because I don't know much about this team other than we beat their ass last week.
They got some MLS experience, that's for sure, in their roster. Especially
I'll tell you, we just did our San Diego preview with some San Diego content creators. This team is, they're not super deep, but that starting 11 is going to get them involved in the playoff conversation from the start. And as you know, John can speak to it, right? The massive experience he's had with Heine Bruchseth, seeing him play all the time for Orlando, he knows the impact that he's going to play there. But they've got a good mix of starting players, and they've got some young players coming up. So I think this is a team that's going to be fighting for the playoffs come the last month of the season.
And it's not a bad shout only because expansion teams recently have come in and seen a lot of success year one, right? So
correct, because they're not afraid to spend
in some form or fashion, right? So
I think if expansion teams go, they've built their roster a lot better than some of the other expansion teams in recent years. So I think that's good for them. But
all right.
it still remains to be seen.
I think it's also
how
like the league getting better, so therefore it makes the players a lot better. So
yeah, and they have the good connections with this, the organization they work with out of Norway. So they're gonna have this constant pipeline of like young Scandinavians coming in.
Yeah, fair enough.
I swear to God, KDB better do an Eli Manning and choose New York over San Diego.
I can't wait for him to sign with San Diego FC, bro. It's gonna be hilarious.
I will crash out. I will literally crash out.
The head loss is gonna be awesome. I can't wait, bro. The Quakes under Bruce Arena cannot be worse than last season. That is for sure. Probably statistically cannot be better than last season or worse than last season. So
who knows?
I don't know, bro.
It's
like
rebuilding or
record-setting
just
season.
bad. I'm putting them down, man. I know it's Joseph. I know they got all that going on, but look at all these characters. Something is going to blow up, and there's going to be some kind of drama and chaos. Like, I just don't think Bruce can get them all together. I think there's just too many personalities there.
So what, instead of arroz con pollo, he's gonna flip over some tacos or something?
Yeah, something like that, bro. I don't know,
Hey,
but
yo.
I don't know. That sounds pretty good, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm kind of hungry. That sounds fire. But like, I don't know, bro. I think Quakes to me will be like a mid-side because of how bad they were. I'm thinking like 10,
I mean, the
11?
attack's definitely been improved, but
Sure.
the defense is probably the question.
And still have
They-
Espinoza.
Yeah, so their attack is going to be good, but they flipped their back line with a team who finished like 8 goals against worse than them, or like third worst in history. Like they didn't go out and like make their back line ridiculously good. They just took New England's, who was also really bad, and made it their back line.
So they're 2024 Portland Timbers.
Probably.
I mean, on paper, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the perfect example, right? So
I think by definition, though, right? They moved out half their roster. They brought a whole new fresh in. That's the definition of rebuilding, right?
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Andrew. Yeah, I like rebuilding. We'll let the audience decide if maybe they're still just bad, but I think rebuilding to be determined. This is like a very
It's almost
question.
like we needed. It's almost like we need to split that tier into one that's rebuilding and one that's just really bad, because now there's a little bit of overlap there. But we're too far in. We're committed. We got to go.
Yeah, we're already locked the fuck in. We're locked in. Okay, Seattle, Western Conference finalists, playoff.
Contenders. I like this team.
Ferreira's
the Ferreira trade.
The Ferreira trade just levels them up.
No, it's Paul Areola, man. It's
no. I would say it's not Ferreira.
I'm not entertaining this shit.
Sure,
You're not doing this, Brian. Paul, hey, listen, bro. I've said a lot of interesting things about you on the show. Look, bro, you're not the reason that Seattle's leveling up. Ferreira, though, is interesting. I'm wondering how much pressure's on that man to deliver this season. No Rui Diaz. Morris will be mid more often than not, probably throughout the course of the season.
Just tell him that he's playing a Caribbean team. Just keep saying. Just
Pirate of the Caribbean, 100%, bro.
You're playing Trinidad every week. Don't worry.
This is kind of crazy that we have Seattle here and the Galaxy down here. No,
I don't think so. I think it's a good, because I think Galaxy being the first
Seattle's
team
gained enough to be on top of LA Galaxy right now.
Ooh, all right. I love a good hot take. I'm there, boys. I'm there.
I don't know. I feel like Seattle very good defensively, but they have brought in these guys, but they're all they're not at the top of their game right now. You know what I mean? Like Ferreira is, and the other twos too. So are they going to make them that much better, or are they just going to maintain the same, constant top 4 in the West?
The thing is, they don't have to be that much better, because offensively they really weren't that great last season. I mean, De La Vega was so in and out with injuries. Morris was very up and down. You can ask Xiao Yan that, 9 times out of 10, he kind of was just very up and down. Rui Diaz, when he played, was halfway decent. The energy was there. So I think Ferreira is a nice level up. He's MLS proven, but again, he was also like John said, very injury prone last season. I feel like we actually sold him a year ago as an FC Dallas fan, because I didn't see him hardly at all in 2024. So maybe a chip on his shoulder, something to prove in a brand new environment. So yeah, fuck it. For the hot takes, for the vibes of this video, let's leave him there. I'm totally down. Xiaoyan, he'd probably call us crazy because he's a little bit of a pessimist with his own team, but fuck it. We'll just leave him up there.
How many goals does Jesus bag?
Ooh.
I'm thinking 12 to 15.
12 is a good shout. I was gonna say something
I was gonna say 12 too.
10 to 12. 10 to 12.
Yeah, I think that's solid.
With like 6 to 7 assists, somewhere in that range. I could see like that.
It depends on. I think it depends on his role. I think it depends on where they play him. If he's an out and out 9, then yeah, we're looking at 10. If they pull him off the line and play him in between the lines, he's going to pick up more assists than he does goals, I think.
Yeah,
and let Jordan Morris cook.
I agree with that. So yeah, I think that's, not a bad shot. The more I think about it, it's not terrible. Galaxy fans, let us know how you feel in the comments below, bro. Seriously, this is an interesting one, I think, to really kind of debate back and forth. And they were very close in the playoffs last year. It was a 1-goal difference at the very end. So
yeah,
we'll see. Game. We'll see. Yeah, Sporting.
Oh no,
they're gonna suck again.
Jovic? No.
They're gonna suck. As long as they have that dictator Peter Vermees, they're gonna suck.
Yeah, it's Vermees.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, we suck again regardless.
I mean, the guy just runs everything and doesn't make good decisions. So it's like your coach and your GM is the same person, and if they're making all the wrong decisions, you're never.
He's been there since what? He's been there since what? 08?
Yeah, I mean, longest starting.
Yeah, you got to get with the times, buddy.
Yeah, and I mean, for Jovilic's sake, I don't who's helping him.
Dude himself, bro. Fuck it.
He's not getting the service like he did with LA. You know what I mean?
That's
true. Not going to be the same.
He literally had Ricky Pooch.
You went from Peck and Paintsel to
Kyrie Shelton and the new guy.
Yeah,
from,
Lily can't even
Tyler
know.
Shelton.
These fucking hackers like scrolling for names like shit.
Memo Rodriguez.
It's a toy.
Memo Rodriguez. That's who's gonna.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. We suck again despite signing Jovic, which I think begrudgingly, right? Just because of how the trade rules work now, he probably had to again begrudgingly make that move.
I'm so sorry, Jovic.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. At least he went out of Galaxy on top. He got one MLS Cup, and now he gets to try and do something with Sporting Kansas City.
I know we're not talking about the Red Bulls anymore, but just what an all-time clip by Bob.
Oh, I know, bro. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 1,000%, bro. Bob has some good ones though. Bob has some good ones. St. Louis City. Mid
lock.
Really?
I'm buying all in on St. Louis this year.
I'm with him.
That's
I'm buying all in. All right. So here's my reasoning, right? Underperformed in I think they overperformed in their first year, like massively overperformed. The underlying numbers said so. Underperformed in 2024, like significantly underperformed, hit with a ton of injuries. And what you saw after they got rid of Carnell's Red Bull style soccer, brought in a guy who said, hey, let's see if this team can actually play, this team of in-prime guys who play most of their career in Europe. Let's see if they can know how to play soccer, right? Let them play a little bit, bring in Hartel and Toucher, and they look really good by the end of the year, right? I think they continue that. They stay healthy, and this is going to be a very, very strong team in 2025. I'm buying them for a playoff lock.
Ooh, damn. So top 6, 100% according to Andrew. Anybody disagree?
Yeah.
I don't know much about St. Louis, so I'll just agree with everything Andrew says.
That is the right way to go about it. I like that.
Fair enough. Default.
Bloods and Crips meme again.
Look, we've all got that one team that you're like, I don't know anything about this team. Like you're gonna
Fair
have
enough.
a blind.
That's me with like
I would be
most teams in
straight-
the West.
Right, you gotta have a blind spot.
That was FC Dallas for the first 4 years of our podcast. We're like, does this team even play games? Like, I couldn't even tell.
Bro,
Until they signed Paul Arriola.
I don't even knock you for that. I don't even knock you for that. But most people just called us Ferreira FC, like at the end of the day. So I don't even knock you for that. That's respectable. I'm like that with Nashville.
The real ones remember Mauro Diaz's bicycle kick assist.
I was
The real ones
saying
remember
that
that.
to me, Lucho is the closest thing we've seen to Mauro Diaz in this team, in my opinion, since Mauro's glory days. You don't know who that is? Go look that shit up at home. Guy was an absolute baller.
Legend.
All right,
Back in my day.
Back in my day. No, back in my day would be Ferreira 1.0. His dad, who was better than the son. Hot take or not, that's 100% true. Toronto FC.
They'll suck again.
Right. They suck again. They're going to be wooden spoon. You can put them all the way at the bottom.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, they should have their own category, which is Toronto.
Yeah. Toronto.
I'm telling you, bro, this should have been
Who are we?
Toronto FC. Just this whole fucking tier. Yeah, that's unfortunate, bro. I don't think any more needs to be said. I'm sure their fans would agree to an extent. And then finally, guys, last but not least, the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Bad.
I don't know. I like that Sabi signing. That seems like a good signing to me.
I don't know if they're going to be as I don't know, man. Vancouver's always interesting to me. I never know what to think with this team because they're one of the more efficient teams under Sartini, but that's not the case anymore, right? So, I don't know what type of. To me, this is one of the biggest question marks. I don't know what type of soccer to expect from this team. I don't know what system they're going to really run. No major prolific signings to talk of. Yeah, bro, just kind of honestly, kind of fucking mid. That's honestly, kind of how I see him.
Emmanuel Sabi is such a fitting Vancouver signing to me because it's just one of those okay.
Yeah, it's just random, But then again, they in the right system they might produce. We saw that with Sartini, right? Got the most out of Fafa, got the most out of White, Gauld, right? So I don't know. I mean, some pieces for sure.
But you can't forget the club is being sold, so they're their whole basis here is rocky. You know what I mean? They're on a foundation of sinking sand.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So what's going on with that? If I'm a player there, I'm looking up. I'm like, yo, is this team going to be here? Are they going to move the franchise? Is Ryan Reynolds going to come in and buy the thing?
I think Ryan Reynolds
should. It
would be cool. It would be cool. But right now,
he won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Bro, you know what they should do? In all honesty,
it's $400 million for Vancouver. That's crazy.
That's crazy. What someone should do is buy this team and relocate him to Vegas. That would actually be a fucking fire.
Yo, hot take. San Diego fans I'm gonna piss them off, but I think that should have been Vegas.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have been you.
Honestly, San Diego with what the whole
San Diego froze Davi.
Yeah, 100%. With the loyal fan, with the loyal fan base, it never should have been that. Like in all honesty, everyone hates San Diego by default, just by default. Like all the crazy shit that went down when they entered the league. So, like, it should have been Vegas. I actually agree with that statement. But nonetheless, Vancouver has a really cool opportunity for something funny there with selling the team and moving them to a different market potentially. But either way, lads, this is it. This is our prediction for 2025. Do we want to move any last minute pieces around just in general, like maybe move the orders within the tiers themselves? Anybody feel out of place?
I feel like the Galaxy should be on the top personally.
I kind of do too.
I kind of just feel like they are above the rest of those teams there, but
I agree.
that might just be me.
No, John, I'm fucking with you, bro. I'm right there with you. In fact, executive decision. I'll say that they're at the bottom of this tier. If you want to keep Seattle above them, totally fine by me, but I think Vanny Ball will figure it out. I actually think Greg Vanny doesn't get enough recognition for the manager piece of it all. I think that he actually deserves a little more love.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good shout, John. Anything else?
I still think Chicago's a bubble team.
Yeah,
you know what, bro?
I
Fuck it. Yeah, you know what?
San Diego down and beyond mid and put, you know what I mean? Because I think,
you could. I'm okay with that switch. I'm okay with that switch.
They're probably going to be mid.
I'm okay with that switch. I believe in that better than the other way around. I'm cool with that.
I can't wait for Greg to let you down, Andrew. I just can't wait, bro.
John,
listen, it won't be the first time. It won't be the last time. Like I'm
like, for it. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, 100%, bro. A regular on Wake Up MLS, at least one of the OGs anyway. John Rivera. Yeah, I think he lost all faith in the fire a long time ago, to be frank. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't blame him. I definitely don't blame him. Yeah, I don't blame him.
Congratulations, you're making the playoffs, buddy.
Yeah, in his dreams, maybe. We'll see. Bubble FC is a massive step up for the Fire from where they were last season. But this is it, man. This is our list. Guys, if you made it to this part of the video, first off, we appreciate you, man. Do me a favor, all right? Like the video down below. Subscribe to Goals TV. A lot of content incoming with several different content creators being featured on the Goals TV channel. Again, we're probably going to see Andrew back, probably going to see John back a number of times as well. So, guys, man, this is our predictions. We're going to either hold a fucking L on some of this or we're geniuses. We will figure it out. Regardless, though, let us know in the comments down below, man, how you feel about this list. Let us know what your hot take is for the 2025 season. And, yeah, man, we can't wait. Just one more week until the opening day gets here. But, yeah, that's it. Again, guys, I really appreciate it from everybody here at Week of MLS. My name's Jose. That's Hector. That's Andrew. That's Davi. That's John. We'll catch you guys next time.